of God, welcome to Tuesday's lesson, the case of Job. The case of Job. My name is Dwain, and we're in some heavy waters today. The case of Job. Have you seen this story? Have you read this story? Do you remember this story? Well, we're looking at that story today. Job chapter 1, verses 1 to 12, and chapter 2, verses 1 to 7. It describes a scene in heaven where the sons of God have been summoned, and they have arrived. Beings God has created. We don't fully understand this scene. But a scene is there where the created beings of God have come together. Lets us know we're not alone, that there are other beings in this universe watching what is playing out even here on earth. And Satan arrives at the gathering in heaven. And God points out Job. God says, have you considered my servant Job? Yeah, so well, he first asked the devil, where have you been? Satan says, I've been running around the earth, just doing my thing on planet Earth. And the Lord says, well, have you considered my servant Job? We don't know what kind of dispute is happening, but there's some kind of conflict that has been going on. And Satan says, yes, I see him, but, you protect him. And that's why, he loves you and serves you. You don't let anybody do anything. You are not fair. Satan is slandering God and his character in this moment to all the other beings. And God says, well, no, I don't think that's true. I think he's upright. I think this man is faithful. I think he loves me from his heart. It's not just because I do things for him. I think if everything else was gone, he'd still worship and love me. The devil does not believe that. And the Lord says, well, go ahead, take his possessions if you want. And Satan does that, wipes out his possessions, wipes out his family, his loved ones. And then God says to the devil, Satan comes again, and the Lord says, well, have you considered him? He's upright in all his ways. Job chapter 2 now, verses 1 to 7. Have you considered him? And the devil says, well, skin for skin. If I was to touch his body, absolutely. I know it's one thing when, the bad stuff is happening outside of your physical being. But if I give him cancer, if I afflict him some way, he will definitely curse you. The Lord says, have at it, but you cannot take his life. We know the rest of the story. Job is afflicted with a grievous illness, boils all over his skin. He scrapes them. He is in pain. He's even urged to curse God. Job does not. It tells us a couple of things. Number one, there is a magnificent scene in heaven. We don't know what it is, but it's a council of some sort. That tells us that there's some rule of engagement going on there. Number two, there is some existing dispute. We don't know what that dispute is, but there's something going on. It's bigger than us. We need to remember that as human beings. Sometimes the things happening to us are bigger than us. Number three, it tells us that Job was upright. He was blameless. Satan claims that Job appears to fear God only because God protects him. Another point of contention. Satan alleges that God's protection of Job, number 4, is a hedge that is unfair. And if the hedge is broken down, Job will give in. Those are all accusations about the character of God. And in return, God limits what the devil can do. He limits what Satan can do even to us. Beloved, we are often hurt, tossed and driven, but know this, we are participating in the very vindication of God's character. He loves us and he doesn't leave us in the devil's grasp. He is with us, limiting what Satan can do.